Hello, ma'am. We'll start the meeting in 5 minutes, ma'am. Sorry for the delay.
All right, just let me know when.
Thank you. Arun, kindly let me know when Lakan sir joins. We'll start the meeting.
Yeah, ma'am.
Lakan sir has joined us. And
Hello, Lakan sir. If you're okay with it, we'll start with the proceedings, sir.
Yes, I can start.
Yeah, hello everyone. Shini, yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty.
Kritik, over to you.
I'm gonna start sharing my screen.
coming together for a cause is beginning. Keeping together in bringing about an impactful change is progress. And working together to implement sequences of choices to achieve a greater objective is success. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings and warmer salutations to the respected dignitaries, esteemed speakers of the day, dignified members of the National Council of SNO India, members of the State Council of SNO India, Tamil Nadu, the advisory team of SNO India, Tamil Nadu, and the participants across the country. 30th September 2023. We marked and etched this momentous day. We take immense pleasure in and honor in welcoming you all for Adrenergix 2.0, the Battle of Brains, an online national medical extravaganza conducted by Student Network Organization, India, Tamil Nadu. We are excited and looking forward as this online national medical extravaganza aims in bringing about medical students across the country together. And together today, we embark in blending brains across the country. After Adrenergix 2022 and Sushrita, a surgical arena 2023, SNO India Tamil Nadu is setting new success of heights as we are back with yet another grandiose event, Adrenergix 2.0. SNO India Tamil Nadu takes pride in organizing this magnificent event. Beginning from today, we have planned and organizing multitude of events and scientific lectures. Adrenergix 2.0 promises to be unique by providing an array of webinars and workshops by leading experts highlighting various aspects. Participants will be enlightened with multitude of information throughout the event. In this 10-day long event, beginning from September 30th, 2023 to October 9th, 2023, the organizing team of Adrenergix 2.0 has assorted and planned in conducting diverse and scintillating events such as poster presentation, case presentation, research paper presentation, debate competition, hackathon, model United Nations, quiz for MBBS and BDS students, and gaming events. A huge number of young minds across the country are all set for the battle of the brains. We take pride in announcing the organizing committee of Adrenergix 2.0 has worked tirelessly and compassionately for months with the cosmic support from our National Council of SNO India and advisory team of SNO India Tamil Nadu. We, SNO India Tamil Nadu, present to you this academically sound online national medical extravaganza. We are glad that all of us have gathered here on this special day with delighted spirits and enthusiasm. Over to Kavya.
In the grand tapestry of this Adrenergix inauguration, your presence adds an invaluable thread of distinction. So I now invite Shalan Ma'am, State General Secretary, State Council, SNO India Tamil Nadu, the heart and soul of welcome address this afternoon. Over to you, ma'am.
Greetings, everyone. I'm Shalin, State General Secretary, SNO India Tamil Nadu, and I take immense pleasure in delivering the address of this national level online academic conference, Adrenergix 2.0 Battle of the Brains, conducted by Student Network Organization, SNO India Tamil Nadu. First of all, I'd like to extend my heartfelt welcome to our keynote speaker for the day, Ms. Veronica Ma'am, Coordinator for Community and Young Leaders Development, Coordinator at the Network TUFH, past International President, Student Network Organization 2021-2022. I'd like to welcome Dr. Lakhan Prakash Gupta sir, National President, SNO India. I'd like to welcome the other members of our national team, Dr. Amrita Shinde ma'am, General Secretary, SNO India, Dr. Auras Katyar sir, Public Relations Manager, SNO India, Dr. Mithun, Finance, SNO India, Dr. Riya Gupta ma'am, National Coordinator, SNO India. I'd like to extend my welcome to our ever enthusiastic state advisory team, Dr. Prashant sir, Dr. Venkatesh Karthikeyan sir, Dr. Ignatius Roshan sir, Dr. Sarath sir, Dr. Raghunandan sir, Praveen sir, Megashri ma'am, Hamida Mustafa ma'am, Joel Stewart sir. I'd like to extend my welcome to my fellow state council members, other state heads, all the college heads and delegates have joined to witness this medical extravaganza. Finally, I'd like to end my address with a quote. It always seems impossible unless it's done. I really hope you all will have a great time in joining us for this massive event. Thank you for joining us, and over to you, Kavya.
Thank you, ma'am. Your words have set the perfect tone for this event, making us all feel truly welcomed.
A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. With that being said, now I welcome Shiny Preeta Nirmalsan, ma'am, State President, State Council of SNO India Tamil Nadu, to give away the inaugural address. Over to you, ma'am.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished judges, distinguished guests, and esteemed participants. It is with great pleasure and immense pride that I welcome you all to the inaugural address of this national level online academic conference, Adrenergix 2.0 Battle of the Brains, conducted by the Students Network Organization, SNO India Tamil Nadu. Today, we gather virtually, transcending geographical limitations to celebrate knowledge, innovation, and collaboration. In these extraordinary times, as the world faces unprecedented challenges, the importance of academic discourse and the pursuit of knowledge has become even more crucial. This virtual conclave serves as a platform to exchange ideas, share research findings, and foster intellectual growth across various fields. We are fortunate to live in an age where technology allows us to connect with each other regardless of our physical location. This online platform proves a unique opportunity for scholars, scientists, educators, academicians to engage with wide audience from different corners of our great nation. Today, in this virtual space, we break down the walls that confine us and expand the horizons of knowledge. As we embark on this intellectual journey together, let us remember the significance of collaboration and inclusivity. This conference is a platform for interdisciplinary dialogue and an opportunity to hear diverse perspectives, fostering a deeper understanding of complex issues that our society faces. Furthermore, this conference provides an avenue for emerging scholars and fresh voices to showcase their work, nurturing the next generation of thinkers, researchers, and innovators. The strength of academia lies in its ability to pass on knowledge to the future leaders who will shape our world. From this, the insights of pioneering researchers to the experiences of esteemed educators, we will have much to gain from the wisdom that they will impart. Finally, I encourage all the delegates to actively engage in this conference, asking probing questions and challenging existing paradigms. It is through a collective effort that we can push boundaries of knowledge and advance the frontiers of academia. I once again extend my warmest welcome to all of you on behalf of Team Adrenergix 2.0, SNO India Tamil. May this gathering be a catalyst for intellectual growth, meaningful collaborations, and lasting friendship. Together, let us embark on this journey united in our academic excellence. Signing off from you is Shiny Preeta Nirmalsan, President, State Council, SNO India Tamil Nadu. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for officially inaugurating Adrenergix 2.0, the Battle of the Brains. We now move on to the most awaited speech of the day. Over to you, Kavya.
It is a great honor to introduce our keynote speaker, Ms. Veronica Ma'am. Veronica Ma'am brings a wealth of experience and dedication to her role as the Community and Young Leaders Development Coordinator at the network TUFH. Prior to her current position, she served as the president of the Student Network Organization from 2021 to 2022, representing nearly 1,000 health and allied sciences students who share a profound passion for extending the reach of health beyond traditional medical boundaries. Her journey with this organization began in 2018. She has been an integral part of its international board since 2019. With a remarkable 5 years of experience in student advocacy and medical education, Veronica Ma is a trailblazer on both local and global platforms. Currently, in her final year of her medical degree at Maastricht University, she also achieved a Master of Science in Global Health in 2020. Veronica of expertise and interests are diverse, ranging from gynecology, sexual and reproductive health, and rights to interprofessional health workforce education, mental health of healthcare professionals, creating accessible and socially accountable medical curriculums, and the critical topic of decolonizing global health. Outside of her professional endeavors, Veronica Ma'am is a travel enthusiast, an ardent reader, and a devoted friend and family member who cherishes quality time with her loved ones. Today, we are privileged to have Veronica ma'am share her profound insights and global experiences with us as she discusses SNO's empowering contributions to global healthcare transformation and innovation. Her dedication to reshaping the landscape of healthcare and education is an inspiration to all of us. Please join me in welcoming Veronica ma'am.
Oh, ma'am, we can't hear you, ma'am. Your audio is in mute.
Oh, sorry. I thought I unmuted myself. Thank you so much for your warm welcome. I'm going to start sharing my screen, at least attempt to see if that works. Okay, I think.
Yes.
Are you seeing my screen? Perfect. All right. Thank you so much to Snow India for inviting me for this inaugural keynote speech. I'm really touched and that I was invited, and I'm going to try to share what I know, what I've learned, and I'm also going to try to talk to you, and definitely questions and contributions and comments are welcome. I'm going to try to monitor the chat myself, but if someone can also help me keep an eye if there's any comments or questions, definitely I would appreciate that. But yes, so what I'm going to do quickly today, I'm going to talk about who am I, why am I the person who's actually talking to you about this, a little bit about what is snow, but from what I'm seeing around here, most people here are familiar with snow, so I probably will breeze through that section, and then I'll really focus on the global healthcare transformation, innovation, and then the snow contributions to that. And again, I wanted to thank everyone for, especially Dr. Lacan, for inviting me to present here. I'm really excited to be part of the Adrenergix 2.0 conference in India. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm really excited to talk to you guys and to find out what you think about all the things I'm going to talk about. I also want to give a minute of silence, or a little bit of silence, for the recent passing of our current president of SNO, Mustafa. He passed away in June, and the team has been doing their best, and current acting president Ala is doing amazing. But I did want to just have a few seconds of silence just in his memory. All right, thank you all. Now, you heard a little bit about me from I think, Kavya, who introduced me. So I'm going to go a little bit deeper. Who am I? Why am I doing this? And why am I relevant at all to this conversation? And so who am I? I'm 26 years old. I am half Polish, half Dutch, but also grew up a little bit in States. I'm currently in my final year of my medical degree. And at Maastricht University, I didn't think everyone would know where Maastricht University is in the Netherlands. There's a little map here of Europe, and yeah, some people call it the heart of Europe. But that's a little bit about me. This is also me standing on the city square in my hometown, Maastricht. And I never, as a kid, I always knew I wanted to become a doctor. I always knew that this is something I'm passionate about, but actually to become who I am today, and honestly who I still want to become, is still a journey that I'm on. But it is something that snow really has shaped me throughout, and really helped me find out what I like and what I'm passionate about. And I think that's what's great about Snow, is that you can really kind of dive deeper into your passions and your potential here, and you can make many connections, especially at the international conferences, that can really propel you into the future like you would not have expected, because I really would not have expected I would be here today giving keynote address on this national conference in India. So you really, I really appreciate Snow and TUF what it's done for me, and I think all of you can also work and really appreciate that as well. Now, I want to talk a little bit about how. So I was in 2018. The conference, the TUF annual TUF conference was in Europe. It was in Limerick University in Ireland, and I was there kind of like a European representative, even though we really didn't have a European region at the time. And I was just asked to come from a university to help with some things, and I met everyone, specifically Aricia especially, and Alejandro and Vishnu, Yassine. These are all past presidents, current past presidents of Snow. They weren't presidents at the time. But they kind of pulled me in, and it was an amazing camaraderie and amazing topics, amazing actions that they all had, amazing projects. And they pulled me in, and they asked me to be the PR manager, or asked me to apply. I applied. They selected me out of all the applicants. So that's kind of how I started. It was really just being at a conference and feeling the excitement and seeing the project and passion of everyone there. It's really one of a kind experience, in my opinion. And at the time I was in the Netherlands, we have a separate bachelor and master system for medicine. So we don't have MBBS. It's a medical degree. So we do your bachelor's and then you do your master's, and your master's are the internships. So I just finished my bachelor's in 2018. I started to get involved in Snow, and I really didn't know if I want to become a doctor at the time, or maybe I thought maybe I changed my opinion. I don't know. And really Snow helped me focus on the fact that I really like global health, and that's something really important to me. So actually, through getting to know Snow and getting involved with all the projects and really working on global health on that international level with Snow, I applied for Masters of Global Health, which I then in 2020 graduated from. Also a great time to graduate, as you can imagine, mid pandemic. You can see immediately how relevant global health is, how relevant all the connections are, and how all of that plays together. And then in 2021, at the time I was vice president in 2020, and in 2021 at the annual conference, I became the president of Snow. And that was a big change, both vice presidency and presidency. That's really, you really are the face of the organization. You really have a lot on your shoulders, and it's amazing, but it's challenging, and you have to represent the organization on the national level or international level. And it's the opportunities are great, but also the workload is great, and it all comes together. But I still was so passionate about it that even though I started my medical internships, and they are heavy and they're hard, and I'm sure most of you know, because I assume most of you here are medical doctors or aspiring medical doctors. Well, I hope there's some other professions here too. Yeah, I pushed through. I finalized a presidency, and even then, when I was done, I talked to Aricia, and I was like, "Hey, what can I do?" And currently, I hold a position of an unpaid intern at TUF. That's Community and Young Leaders Development Coordinator. That really focuses on. I was helping with the newsletter, with the PR stuff. But also focusing on what the young professionals would want, and what we can do, and how we can really utilize our first Fivers membership that TUF has, and really focus on that. I'm running a pilot project this year. I'm hoping that next year it's going to be a bit bigger, and maybe some of you will join us next year when you're graduated med school. Yeah, so that's kind of how I've gone here. And it's been a long journey. It's been not an easy journey. There's been many decisions that happened in the middle that, I had to prioritize some things. But all of this actually led, I didn't put it on the slide, but I had the privilege of being the interim manager while the director was on maternity leave. So Arisi was on maternity leave this year, and I had I was the tough manager for 3.5 months, and that's really something I would never have expected myself to be a position to be in at the time 25 years old. And really the connections that you can make within TUF, both online, virtual, all the conferences, everything like that, but also the physical conferences, they're definitely something that I would, those who can attend them, is really amazing experience. So that's a little bit about me and how am I relevant to the picture, and what my experience is really within SNOW and TUF. And I'm going to do my best to represent that and represent my knowledge, both as a global health graduate, but also as someone who's been part of SNOW and TUF for 5-6 years now. So I'm going to quickly go over SNOW, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to go into much detail, as I do assume a lot of you know what SNOW is, if not all of you. But of course, as you've heard me mention, TUF stands for the Network Towards Unity for Health, and that is the parent organization of SNOW, and they are what SNOW is for students, on the professional level, where all the institutions and leaders can connect. And really, they like to call themselves, and SNOW also likes to call themselves, the network of networks. It's really building this connection between institutions, community healthcare, hospitals, universities. A lot of universities, of course, it's a lot about education, all the professors there, researchers, and the individuals, and all the individual people with individual interests and passions, and really coming together to focus on social accountability. I think that's the key word when you talk about SNOW and TUF: social accountability. And can someone here in the chat quickly, or what words do you associate with social accountability? Can you tell me in the chat what social accountability means to you? Or maybe you don't know. If you don't know, also just feel free to just say, hey, I don't know. All right. So, yes, responsibility as a global citizen. Yes, responsibility. I'll wait for a few more things to come in. Yeah, involvement is a keyword. I think it's a concept that I've had many workshops on and many presentations on, and it's still a concept that it's very vague and it can be interpreted many ways, and it's really, I think, personal experience what you make of it. But the key concept, the key point of social accountability is the fact that you deliver care for people that is appropriate, and that's you take responsibility into really people's healthcare, and being really focused on what each community needs, and especially where you talk a lot about social accountability is on especially university level, when they teach their upcoming nurses and doctors what is relevant, and where especially it comes to an issue is at a global level, at a global health level, where a lot of Western medical institutions from global West are taken as a placeholder, as a kind of the knowledge, people who have knowledge, and they transfer that knowledge without thinking to to the rest of the world, and that's been a big issue, and it's been definitely a lot more addressed in the recent years. It's something that is really relevant to discussion right now. But people transfer knowledge without thinking about what is the knowledge that's necessary on a local level, and you cannot import a curriculum from UK to India without thinking, hey, what are people in UK struggling with? What healthcare issues are people in UK struggling with versus for people in India? And more so locally, there's so many states, so many different provinces, little villages. Each village can have a different issue that they're struggling with. And the point is that the care needs to be delivered on a local level to an appropriate local level. So it fits into the needs of the community. So that's really what social accountability, I think, practically is. I think if you get into the definitions, it can be many things, but that's how I've interpreted out of everything, out of my whole experience. So of course, that comes with community health and equity in healthcare and access in healthcare and collaboration, because we're talking about community, and that usually means that you don't need that you really need to focus on primary healthcare and preventive healthcare, which are all going to be topics I'm going to talk about later in my presentation. But this is what social accountability is. I see a raised hand. Do you want to speak? I'm not sure if someone wants to speak or not. I'm going to continue with my next slide. Okay.
Please continue.
Please
Please
continue.
continue.
Sorry. I wasn't sure if someone had a question. Anyway, I mean, again, who we are, our vision. We're the network of health students, specifically not medical students, and we are expanding more and more in some countries into involving more nursing, physiotherapy, pharmacology students. I think in India it's still primarily medical students, but maybe I'm wrong. If you wanna, in the meantime, while I'm talking, type in if you're not from medical science, I'd be happy to hear what other sciences are represented here today. The focus on equity and intercultural and multidisciplinary healthcare, and really bringing of universal healthcare. That's a little bit about who we are. And what we do, of course, is we try to bring the expertise and really bring the people together from all these different topics and areas together, and an interdisciplinary conversation to really brainstorm on how can we best achieve all those goals and all those topics. And really the network of networks, networking is really important here. And so events like this are amazing, because this is where you get to really talk with people who share your similar interests, and really make friends and collaborate, and who knows, research projects, etc., come out of these kinds of events. So that's kind of what we do. There's a lot of course, events, mentorship programs, other things I'm going to talk about at the very end, kind of in social contributions part. But yeah, there are so many things happening, and it's always hard to keep an oversight of everything that SNO does. And where we are, I mean, we are all over the world. I don't have the current numbers. I was not able to get them. But you can see the distribution is quite varied. Actually, most of us are in Africa and Southeast Asia, and a lot of our members are from India. So that's why I'm really happy to speak to India, to all of you guys, because you guys do represent quite a big majority of our students. But as you can see, we're in every continent, and we're growing every year. Yeah, so I think that concludes my a little bit background information about everything I'm going to talk about now, which is the whole point of this speech is the global healthcare transformation, innovation, what does it mean, and what can we do actually? That's I think the most important part. So WHO celebrated this year's 75th anniversary of their existence, of their hard work on public health and bringing public health and healthcare to everyone. I mean, everyone knows WHO, everyone knows their logo. It's such a key aspect of bringing healthcare, of giving standards and guidelines for working, giving advice, and really coordinating healthcare and coordinating advice in such key moments as the COVID-19 pandemic. So the fact that it's been already 75 years is amazing. And they had some key points to share with us, which I'm gonna, I think, dive deeper in our next slides. But what I wanted to first, discuss as we're talking about global transformation is what are our where are our weak points? What things can we do, and but also what can we look forward to? What future holds for us and for healthcare? So this is a quote in regards to the 75th anniversary of the WHO's chief scientist, Dr. Sumaya Swaminathan. And she really weaves this story that as she looks into the future, she imagines a family in a rural area and that has a proper home to live in, that has that the air pollution issue has been resolved, that they can breathe clean air, that the family uses renewable, clean sources of energy, that there is no need for solid fuel anymore, that they have running water, and that's not only running but also safe water to drink, and of course improved sanitation facilities, and that everyone has that, and no matter if they're urban or rural, and that's just the basic of disease. So that's her dream for in 2040, 2045. And I think that's a dream that we can all see, and these are all issues that what she mentions here: the proper housing, energy, clean water, sanitation. Those are all basic issues, basic human really needs that we still struggle to address, and still some communities, especially in rural areas, really struggle with achieving these small things. It's she's not talking here about flying cars and amazing technology and amazing advances, people walking around with chips. She's talking about just having a basic home and water and a place to clean yourself up. So I think that's quite interesting to think about, the fact that that's, our progress has gone so far, but yet what we're looking forward to in the future are just fulfilling those basic needs. And it's a very difficult, and it's not going to be an easy journey to get there. It's something that we all agree on as a basic need, but yet it's so hard to make sure that everyone has access to it. And that's kind of what global healthcare focuses on. When you think about the global healthcare on its own, it's especially since COVID, it's been struggling in many ways. They're predicting a 10 million people or personnel shortfall by 2030. There's going to be a huge shortages of people of all professions, not only doctors, nurses, physiotherapists, pharmacists. Everyone is struggling right now. Not only that, 42% of clinicians are still considering leaving the healthcare industry. That shows you how difficult it is to currently work. The burnout rates, the work-life balance is impossible in many ways. What's expected of you as a doctor is too much for any one human to do, and that's amazing. I think that's what we can talk about these numbers, but really it's amazing that people still do go to work every day, even though it's so hard and so impossible to work some days. But some people are just passionate about it, and that's always commendable. And even more so, the patients also are lacking confidence. 44% of patients say that they don't think they'll be able to access care, and especially not in a timely manner. So it's almost half of the population thinks that this is literally impossible. So it's there is there's so much room for improvement here. So this is, again, put a bit together. So patients are concerned for their safety and quality of care. That's really something that's we've been working on, but especially with increasing demand and with less and less workforce, it's harder to deliver, even though our technology is improving. The personalized care and really focusing on what the patient needs and being able to deliver empathetic care is getting also harder because of the lack of time and lack of staffing. The outcomes, we have so many different data points, but we cannot really gather the relevant outcomes for the patients. And we do so much research, but yet to actually do research that's relevant for the patient is so hard, because you need to have a great pool of researchers and a great pool of money that goes into these things, developing these things, and there just isn't. Especially, not sure if you have had different experience, but definitely in the Netherlands, I'm seeing that patient-centered research is difficult. It's a lot easier to do laboratory research, which is very important as well. But especially if we're talking about improving healthcare and patient experience and regaining people's trust in healthcare, that's something that's really lacking. Of course, there's lack of equitable healthcare coverage. I don't think there's not one system in the world that actually delivers healthcare to everyone equally. I have the privilege of being in one of the countries that do cover one of the most percentages of the population. But even here, I think on paper they say 97% of people have healthcare insurance, but it's still 97%. It's not 100%. And honestly, from experience from working with migrants and in migrant populations, those people have the most struggles with access. So even if they really have healthcare insurance, access is still a big barrier. And I know that that's the privileged situation of the Netherlands. I was reading up about India's healthcare system, and there's been some new advances and new schemes that allow for that to happen, but still, it's something that every country is struggling in right now, to how to provide that access to healthcare. And of course, the payments, everyone has to pay out of pocket for something in their healthcare system. And with the current economic situation, it's really hard for everyday people to access and afford good healthcare. And what maybe you've also noticed in your own healthcare systems is that it's very uncoordinated. And if someone wants to, going from your primary healthcare doctor to your specialist, the data can be missing. There can be months of waiting lists in the meantime. There's just lack of coordination, especially when it comes to complexer care. But also it's important, especially if we come to preventative healthcare, which I'm gonna talk about in a moment. But that uncoordinatedness really allows for people to fall through the cracks for lack of follow-up, not being able to not know how to take their medication. Health literacy is another big issue here. But really, it's if we could coordinate our healthcare system and all the different parts of it and different industries within healthcare, that would already solve a lot of issues. So again, one of the many things that are challenges. But also we are really at a watershed moment. We're really at a turning point within healthcare. I think COVID really has brought a lot of things, has shown us that we can do so many things when we have to. And there's been so many new technologies and innovations in the past few years, that it's really, you can see that change happening. And if you read articles online, but also if you just live life and see in the hospital, there are so many changes happening. Again, so digital, the fact that we are so connected well right now is a huge driver of change. The fact that we have the data, we can collect it easily on smartphones, on we have many apps that connect you with your local physicians. That on its own is such a huge change. There's also this movement within patient population to be more involved in their own care. It's from as simple things as going to Google and Googling your own symptoms, to actually wanting to understand and bring that help, have that health literacy, which is not an easy thing to have, and we take for granted as people who have this medical background. We always laugh at patients who come in, but don't listen to Dr. Google, but still, it's something that it's a new change that has allowed people to be to have some more knowledge and to actually be able to take those decisions and to have more questions and really understand better what's going on with their own health. Another big driver is the fact that it's unsustainable. It's the high costs of it. What I just mentioned is just people are no longer willing to spend that. And whenever there is a new innovation that allows for having lower costs, and a newer healthcare center pops up that pays, that you have to pay half for, people are going to, of course, choose for it, because no one wants to pay everything they have for a minor healthcare treatment. Another big issue is what I said, is that staff shortages, high burnout rates, workforce is really struggling, and we have to see how we can adapt for the workforce to be able to continue. And telemedicine, what I've mentioned, the digital health revolution has really lowered the revenue of hospitals. There's a lot more online doctors. Call your doctor on your phone, and there's many systems that allow for you to be able to easily connect it than just going to the hospital, which means that they have less revenue, and that means that I think the cost, especially the lack of revenue, and that means that CEO of the hospitals need to think about, like, hey, what needs to change, what needs to happen. So I believe in all the researchers, I'm gonna show you the references at the end there, but all the research I'm also reading, it's really becoming a turning point of for the future of healthcare. So then what are the trends? What are we going to see in the future of healthcare? I think, especially from perspective of medical students and other healthcare students, the work-life balance needs to be improved. The global healthcare crises are still ongoing. I was looking on WHO's page. I mean, there's so many floods happening, earthquakes. If you just open any news app on online, you can just see all the things happening right now, and it's emergencies, but also disease outbreaks. I think there's a cholera outbreak somewhere right now, and monkeypox is still around. Again, I invite you all to just open WHO's homepage, and you can read about all the things happening right now that are making difficult for healthcare to move forward. But that's something that we have to address, and especially on an international level, we have to do something with it. We also are seeing more partnership. We're working, what I said, is that the patient wants to be more involved, and we want to involve the patients more. We really, we know that patients adhere better to treatments when they understand them and when they can fully gauge the importance of the treatment. If someone just tells you what to do, we're really moving away from the paternalistic side of medicine, and we're really moving towards doing it together and really going and really focusing on that together. And then connectedness. We are accessing the patient data in many ways. We still have to figure out how to do it with the safe data. I think that's something that's still, different countries have different rules about that. EU's very strict on their data protection laws right now. But still, like, not everyone wants to share their data with their healthcare providers, and that's also understandable because it can also be used in this consumeristic society in negative ways by the by the ad providers and insurance companies, etc. It's really something. It's sensitive data that you don't want to share, but at the same time, we have that power of data, and if we can connect it better. And if we can keep it safe, so we can connect it and we have it and we can keep it safe, it would really make a world of difference. And, I was reading about recent innovations. There's a new wristband, kind of like a Fitbit, that can measure your blood glucose. So it's non-invasive way to test your blood glucose. It's and those little things that are really making it easier for people to have care at home and do these things easier are really, every day, every month, there are so many more things happening. Kind of going into that, we have that big data now. We have that massive amounts of data points, both just from having people going to the hospitals and their controls, their blood pressure, pulse, etc., like the basic things, information that you gather in a hospital room, but also all of these new data points, all these lab results, these at-home measurement systems. We have to really work on connecting all of that and building infrastructure that can support all of that. We also have the distributed healthcare. We're seeing beginnings of that, of having more mobile clinics, having more telehealth. I think that's something that you're going to talk a lot about, I hope, in the coming days during this conference. Again, basic in-home care, those wearables, easier testing, also treatment at home. That's really something that we're moving towards, and we're already seeing these trends in healthcare. And then 3 Ps: precision, predictive, and preventive. Something that's big within healthcare right now is that moving toward prevention and personalization of healthcare. When we can prevent major health issues, let's say we can prevent someone's diabetes, we can really lower the cost of someone's potential healthcare issues of having to be hospitalized because of unregulated sugars, for diabetic neuropathy, for maybe eventually ulcers and amputation of their toes and feet, and there's so many things that you can prevent if you can catch diabetes, for example, early enough. And that's true for every kind of disease, but again, diabetes is one of the non-communicable diseases that is emerging right now all over the world, and non-communicable diseases are one of the biggest trends right now, and something that we really need to focus on. So there is, as we are seeing that, we are responding to that with knowing that we have to do more preventive healthcare. And also that ties into personalized healthcare also allows to see the fact that when you can gather the data and you can see that you can gather data points about people living, you really see the importance of tying the social determinants of health into healthcare, and to then being able to say, hey, these populations seem to be struggling with these and these health issues, and you can really address them on a local level, and really deliver socially accountable care. This is where it all ties in, and that's really something that we're seeing already a movement towards. And like I said, I'm going to come back on WHO's key messages. So, these are all the things that all the challenges, the drivers, and also the trends that we're seeing already in healthcare. There is a massive transformation happening already. And with that, WHO has released their key messages for their 74th anniversary. And that is that universal healthcare is something that we have to strive for. That's something that is hard, is difficult, is not easy to implement. But the more we can advocate for it within our local systems, local governments, larger governments, to the international level, the better everyone's going to be. There's also still a big issue with access to quality healthcare, and that kind of goes into what I talked about earlier. These lack of patients-focused care, lack of staff, lack of devices. Also, with the pandemic, we saw shortages of medication. With the war in Ukraine, we've seen another shortage of medication, I'm sure. And India, they've also been seeing other shortages as well. There is just still a huge issue of access that we need to address. What also, another conclusion is that public healthcare is the most effective and most cost-effective way to address healthcare. So, primary healthcare, PHC, primary healthcare is the way to go. So this is where we're talking about community healthcare centers. They're really focusing on your general practitioners, really bringing the importance back to that. So that's really the key. The key here is that community-centered, local healthcare, ideally delivered by local people who grew up in that area. Of course, COVID-19 has been a huge holdback for everyone. It's said every country has struggled with many setbacks because of COVID-19. Many researchers had to be stopped. Their resources had to be reallocated, and now we're post-pandemic world. We're trying to see what's possible, but at the same time, we are still struggling with many health emergencies. Like I mentioned, there are so many, especially climate change related emergencies. That's just going to get more and more every year. More floods, more droughts, more wildfires, more earthquakes, more everything that makes delivering sustainable healthcare more difficult, because then you have to again go into action mode and emergency mode, and when you're trying to build a sustainable healthcare system, it's when you have to keep reprioritizing your goals because of these emerging acute situations. You really it makes life difficult, especially on a if you think from a CEO of a hospital level. But still, WHO has been really calling us to action to really talk about the social sustainable development goals, to really talk with the local governments, to really connect with the community and connect also on an international level on how we can achieve all of this, because that's what we're striving for. Like the quote in the beginning said, that's what we're going for, this basic needs being met, and that would be beautiful if we can do that. I have a little slide about innovation. I am noticing I'm going a little bit over time right now. But just to wrap it up quickly, there are so many innovation happening, and I kind of grouped it into, the innovation on the local level. So really talking about people at home care, self-monitoring, also about the technology. There is the rise of personalized medicine, potentially gene editing, CRISPR, all of that happening. This amazing innovation happening right now on that level. We're also talking about social care and really addressing the social determinants of health. And really, honestly, I think what's really big this year, especially, is the AI and machine learning. That's really something that we're just seeing since last year, this year, rising, and we can really use that to help diagnose people and help doctors be less overworked, because they'll have a program helping them take their notes. And that's something that really, I think, is going to be another big change in healthcare. So last part, SNOW contributions. I think, again, when you it all relates for me back to these key messages. When you think about SNOW and what SNOW does, it's all about sustainable primary healthcare. It's all about access. It's all about taking local action. It really, for me, SNOW embodies these messages in many ways. And every SNOW chapter, again, we have a very divided in local chapters, because every local chapter, our chapter in Kenya or in Sudan has very different needs than a chapter in India. And again, you have so many different chapters in India. I'm sure every little region has different focuses. But all of that put together do bring that change. And that's, there's a really beautiful graphic from Tough, but it really embodies SNOW's beliefs as well. So we're talking about the fact that we're looking to do system change and policy making, and but also involving the community organizations through that. And of course, you have to academic institutions, and you have to have the health workforce together to make all of that possible. So again, I think what I just talked about, the trends that we're seeing, the community-focused care, local care delivered at home, more primary health care, those are all things that the network and SNOW has been advocating for years. And now we're really seeing those trends on a global scale. So I think that's really the biggest contribution, that all the little things that Tough and SNOW has done over the many years of existence, together with all the other organizations who are working towards these goals, have really have been seen. And there's still so much more work to be done, but it is there, it is present. I think this is just another nice graphic that just shows how it's being done. And it's very similar on SNOW level as on Tough level. That's done by symposiums, workshops, conferences, task forces, regional meetings, and really talking. And talking such as the Adrenergix 2.0, this amazing event is one of the many ways that is done. I was asked what are the SNOW contributions. I think this event is a SNOW contribution, and I think that really gives it really shows the importance of these things, and of the organizing committee of Adrenergix 2.0. Really, this is something that is driving the changes of healthcare, and especially as young doctors and young nurses, physiotherapists, physicians. Really, us talking about it is what brings that change, and it's us, having that moment of, hey, something needs to be done. How the healthcare system has been working for many, many years is not sustainable anymore. It's too high. The patients are not happy with it. We're not happy with it. We're burning out. The costs are way too high. It's the access is way too low. And through these events, we get to talk about all the little projects and really see and connect with people. And of course, on SNOW international level, it also means through networking and connecting with all the different institutions that have similar goals and really driving that. It's also through research, and we have our Education for Health journal. I think the call is going to be open again, from what I understand. But yeah, it's through sharing the knowledge in many ways, in many, be that the conference or Education for Health journal. This is our Asia Pacific regional conference, regional virtual conference this year, which was again an amazing event, and really that's where people connect and really bring these ideas together, and which again we're doing on the regional level. So you're bringing so many countries together, and you can see the different patterns and the similarities and differences in every healthcare system. Because again, I'm talking on a global scale, but it's really important to it's good to be able to zoom out and talk about it on this scale, but then also again zoom in and see how all of this is applicable to your local healthcare system, and what can you do yourself and with your peers. Of course, symposiums and events. Again, I was so it has been very active recently, so I was the easiest way to find it. I thought this was really cool for all of you to see all the things happening in India. Yeah, so it's SNOW. Yeah, again, I'm going to talk in a second about the conference, but yeah, there's so many things happening on the international level with other SNOW chapters as well. What I also want to give a sneak peek of is you could see the little logo in the middle, the Global Health Exchange. It's a project that's going to be launched at the conference. So those who are joining us in person or virtually, definitely, I advise checking it out. But yeah, so I just wanted to tease it a little bit. But again, it's about rural health exchanges. So again, focusing on community health, but also connecting on an international level. It's a really cool project. And again, our conference, it's literally in 22 days. Today is the last day to register for the virtual participation. So if you haven't done so, I definitely would highly advise to do so. I'm also going to be there virtually participating in the conference. So definitely, if we meet there, reach out. I'd love to chat. But yeah, so that's our next conference where we're going to connect and talk about these things. Again, a lot of the things that you heard from me today are the things that are going to be very relevant at the conference. And that brings us to the end. And I'm sorry for going over a little bit, but yeah, there's a lot to talk about on this topic. Are there any questions? All right. Well, I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for inviting me again to this as a keynote speaker. It's been my honor. I think that's the end of that's on my last slide. So again, thank you to the organizing committee, and I'm here if there's any questions.
Ma'am, I believe everybody has understood your key objectives today. Thank you, Dr. Veronica, ma'am, for sharing your path through SNO and enlightening us on various aspects of how SNO internationally works. and on SNO's empowering contribution in global health development. Thank you, ma'am. Your words and presence truly honored our inaugural ceremony today. Also, it's a privilege to announce that Dr. Mustafa sir gave us the keynote speech during inauguration of 2022 at Adrenergix. Sir and his words will always be remembered. Thank you. And we now move on to our introduction of the National Council of SNO India. India. Standing firm as pillars, cutting through all the hardships and making this organization alluring and strong would not have been possible without a forever empowering core members of the National Council of SNO India. I'm pleased to welcome our respected dignitaries, Dr. Lakhan Prakash Gupta sir, National President, SNO India, Dr. Amruta R. Shinde ma'am, National General Secretary, SNO India, Mr. Auras Katia sir, National Public Relations Manager, SNO India, and Ms. Riya Gupta ma'am, National Coordinator, SNO India. Over to you, Kavya.
It is with great enthusiasm that I introduce our esteemed National President, Dr. Lakhan Prakash Gupta sir. Dr. Gupta is a fervent advocate of dynamic leadership and possesses exceptional skills in healthcare management. His unwavering passion revolves around introducing innovative ideas to address the multifaceted challenges encountered by our global community in healthcare. Dr. Gupta is a product of excellence in education, having completed his MBBS at the prestigious JNMCH, Aligarh Muslim University, one of India's renowned medical institutions. His remarkable leadership qualities has been demonstrated in numerous roles, including serving as the national president of Student Network Organization India, the president of Jain Medical College Society AMU, National Joint Secretary for the Indian Medical Association, and the State President of IMA MS in Uttar Pradesh. His dedication extends beyond national borders, as he has also held the position of co-chairperson for the WMA Cooperating Center, UNESCO for Bioethics SNO India. In 2018, his relentless pursuit of knowledge led to the successful approval of his research project under STS ICMR. Dr. Gupta's commitment to the well being of society is evident in his role as the district coordinator for the Drug Abuse Prevention Program, an integral part of the National Action Plan for the Drug Demand Reduction under the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. His dedication to the medical field has earned him numerous prestigious awards, including National Appreciation Awards from the Indian Medical Association, the Best Intern Award from the Federation of All India Medical Association, and the title of Outstanding Medico of the Year at the Youth Health Icon Awards in Bhubaneswar. Additionally, he received the Health Champion Award from the Hospital Infection Society India, Aligarh chapter. Dr. Gupta's expertise has also led to invitations as guest speaker at various national medical student conferences. Driven by a profound sense of social responsibility, Dr. Gupta is committed to uplifting the standards of medical education and effectuating a lasting and transformative impact in the realm of healthcare. Today, we have the privilege of hearing his insights and wisdom on SNO India's path to excellence, unveiling the key strengths, innovation, and impactful achievements, and I'm confident that his words will inspire and enlighten us all. Please join me in extending an enthusiastic welcome to the exceptional Dr. Lakhan Prakash Gupta. Over to you, sir.
Hello, am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. So, greetings from SNO India Nationals. As the national president of this organization, I extend a warm and wholehearted welcome to everyone here, and especially to our keynote speaker, Veronica. I think she has left, but no worries. Actually, you all know, as Veronica told, she has graciously joined us from Netherlands. Currently, she holds the position of national coordinator at TUFH, and also she has served the position of international president at SNO International. Actually, she is a wonderful person and really a helpful being. So, I also extend my heartful welcome to all the delegates and all the national and state leader of SNO. Lastly, I extend my heartfelt congratulations to the organizing committee of Adrenergix 2.0 under the Banner State Tamil Nadu chapter for hosting this wonderful medical and scientific conference. So, Shini, I asked, I think Arun to present the PPT. So, can I get the PPT?
Yes, sir.
If you are okay to run, or I shall run the PPT.
Is this visible?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So I won't be taking a lot of time for this PPT, just a few minutes. I'll be just running it firstly. Okay. So as you know, India all know student network organization. Next slide. Yeah. So SNO India, everyone knows SNO India is an autonomous organization that operate as a part of international student and network organization. Within the network UFH, the network UFH is a network of is a global network comprising of professional institutes and organizations committed to promoting equitable community and oriented health services, education, research, and policy. It is essentially a network with the non-governmental organization NGOs and an official relationship with the WHO. Yeah, next slide. Mission, vision, yeah. So mission of SNO India is to empower and support the medical student professionals and the healthcare sector in India. The organization is committed to the fostering excellence, advancing the knowledge and promoting collaboration to enhance the healthcare education practice and delivering a local, state and national, international level. Vision, coalition of healthcare student endeavoring to advance equity in education and healthcare by fostering intercultural and multidisciplinary cooperation with the ultimate objective of constructing a comprehensive universal health system. So obviously, the common aim is to achieve the universal healthcare system across the globe. Next slide. Yeah. Next slide. History and strength. I won't be no no. Before this slide, history and strength. Yeah. So history, I won't be going deep in history. So as in India has since the beginning has faced numerous challenges, but our past resilient leadership has consistently propelled it forward. In recent year, as in India has achieved remarkable heights. You all know, and you everyone I think who are here know this. And SM India now stand as one of the India's largest medical student organization. Uh, what set SMO India apart is unique role is uniting as students from various health-related disciplines, including medicine, dentistry, nursing, and moreover, all working toward the common goal of achieving universal healthcare. Presently, SMO India has a presence in more than 14, I think, yeah, 14 state, and with the plan to extend further, we are building teams in new states too. We have established our footprint in nearly every medical and dental college across the India, solidifying our commitment. to advancing healthcare, education, and education. Yeah. Next slide. Yeah, scope of work. Scope of work. So, SNO India champions the cause of elevating public health awareness among students and actively organize engaging in imparting health education to the broader public. So, the other point, SNO India passionately dedicate itself to the noble pursuit of advancing medical education and fostering groundbreaking research, recognizing them as the foundational pillar of the medical professional. So we are basically working on these three pillars: raising the public health awareness, enhancing medical education, and fostering medical research. So every activity, whatever we do at national, is in contact with these three pillars. Next slide. Yeah, structure of the organization. As everyone knows this, there is a National Executive Council that appoint the National Advisory Board, uh, that appoint the National Committee Coordinators and the National Zonal Coordinator. Then we appoint the state representative and the state coordinators. Then the state representative and coordinators all appoint the college representative. So here. And so there is a selection process involved a rigorous assessment, including the evaluation of the CVs, plan of action, and the interview at the national level. Subsequently, state bodies are appointed, followed by selection of the college representative. At college, we have one male and one female representative. Each of these position holders undergoes a thorough process of screening via the interview. So I think many of you people know this thing. If you want to apply for the national council, you have to deal with these three things: CV, plan of action, and the interview. Yeah. Initiate then. Next slide is yeah. So, brainstorming initiative of SNO India till now. So, SNO India has embarked a visionary journey marked by the launch of a myriad of thought-provoking groundbreaking project right from its inception. These ventures include Project Monsoon Care, which is the recent project launched by the National India. Many research workshop, undergraduate and clinical research methodology workshop, online live academic workshop. I remember we organized the hepatitis workshop on the World Hepatitis Day. Then yeah, then. In the past few years, we have organized PANCOF Global Health Conclave. That was a great hit, and it was appreciated by the tough people, TFH people. Okay, and then we have organized the Sky Med Clinical Communication Workshop, Mad Talk, Man Health Month Talk. June month, we have organized these things and many more things. Means a plethora of online competition and lightning webinar we have organized at SNO India. So these are just the briefing. Next slide. Partnership and collaboration. So SNO India has forged numerous fruitful collaboration, and here are few of the notable partners in our journey. World Medical Association, WMA, Cooperating Center for Bioethics, HIFA, UNESCO Chair, you all know. Indian Medical Association, I think everyone knows this organization in India. Medical Student Network, it's a unit, and Junior Doctor Network, we have collaborated with them. We have collaborated with Hospital Infection Society India, Indian Academy of Neuroscience, then partnership with national university, just like I have partnered with my own university, Aligarh Muslim University. Recently, we have partnered with King George Medical University, KGMU, and also we have collabed with the Scientific Association of Medical Students of the University of Santander, Colombia. I think that was last year, Colombia. Then we have collaborated with Global Neuroscience Association, Student Network, Medicine, and then being becoming Apple. There are several of the organization to this list. And also we have collaborated with several national medical conferences like MedPrimrose, Metamorphosis, Web Colloquium, Confluence, etc. Next. Yeah. So these are a recent activity plan under the SNO India. So first one is from the SNO Gujarat. The second one from was the workshop, clinical research workshop. Third thing, you all know that it was organized by the SNO Tamil Nadu people, and even Veronica put this flyer on her slide over there. So whatever the activity plan, state chapter plan, have I officially write the mail and send the activity report to the international EC. So I think Veronica has taken the flyer photograph from there, and she has uploaded the flyer in her this flyer slide also. So next, recent activity. Okay, next online webinar. So recent activity. These are I think all knows. Okay, next. Yeah, there are a few past activities. Pankov, as I already mentioned, was one of the most hit event of this SNO India, in which we organized the event for almost across the globe, and more than 22 countries participated in this event. We decided a topic on COVID preparedness and regional remedies to tackle the COVID. So there, I don't remember the whole topic. So we circulated this topic in every country. So we got entries from them, and the superior entry that was the superior entry we received from every nation. We just took them, and then we had a panel discussion. We had the judges from some Canadian university, and from a person who represent India in WHO, Dr. Nafis Hari, I remember. So yeah. So after that, we had a panel discussion among the 18 people from all over the country. Then we shared the cultural aspect and COVID preparedness, tackling aspect and tackling the COVID. So these are the few images. Yeah, Veronica was there. So yeah. Then we had a lot of offline event from here from different places. Yeah. Next slide. Okay, so impact. Yeah, yeah, impact. So, as in India, obviously, we are here, what impact we are creating through it, as in India, through its very initiative and collaboration, we had made a tangible impact on healthcare education and awareness, fostering a new generation of informed and compassionate healthcare professionals who are dedicated to achieving universal healthcare. So we are, as mentioned before, we only aim to create this universal healthcare achievement. Yeah. So the future aspect will be the in the pursuit of the mission as an India and vision future marked by the greater expansion and influence. Obviously, we want to expand and influence the more and more medical data and nursing student. The organization committed to continually innovating, forging new participation, and leveraging cutting edge technology to enhance medical education, research, healthcare, excellence. So again, it comes to those three pillars: the healthcare awareness, public health awareness, the medical education, and the research upon research. So we are working on them and working on these pillars. So as in India, aim to leave an indelible landscape healthcare and medical education, shaping a brighter future for all. Yeah. Next slide. Yeah. So you all can stay connected with us and receive update and information through our official social media profiles. We are on Instagram, Facebook, uh, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Yeah. So next. Yeah, so this was the last slide. And as mentioned, I won't be taking a lot of time here. So yeah, this was my part. Also, there's a thing that I just here I want to share something that initially I started my journey in 2019 just as a college representative. Subsequently, I assumed the role of the state secretary at SNO Uttar Pradesh and then the vice president of SNO India. No, and that time, Veronica, I remember Veronica took my interview in 2020 or 21 for the position of national vice president. And after that, I got that position after the interview. That was a three-step procedure. The national president of that time, Veronica, and the person from TUFI took my interview. So after that, I was put in the role of the national vice president. So it has been an incredible journey, progression from my early days as a college representative to my current role as the national president of SNO India. So yeah, yeah. Lastly, just a few words over Mustafa. I want to say, Mustafa was what to say. Mustafa was a wonderful friend. Uh, so when Mustafa extended offer for me to last year, as I remember, when I got this before getting the national presidency position at SNO India, Mustafa extended an offer to me to take the position of international committee coordinator, and that was was the position in the international EC. So I declined, and however, I made that choice to remain in the role of national president, national representative, in order to drive positive changes and shape my initiative accordingly in here in SNO India, and pretty much I can see this is happening. So Mustafa was an exceptional individual. Excelling not only his professional capacity but also a friend. Mustafa was really, whenever I was in trouble or had need his help, he was always ready. Even every time he always used to provide the assistance. So that was a shocking day when we received his sudden death, the news on the our international group that he died due to the drowning of the boat in a river. So first I thought that Mustafa is someone else. So after a few minutes, when I got to know, so the Mustafa who was the current president at that time and a friend of mine just had us just we lost him. So okay. So again, SNO Tamil Nadu team, you guys are doing wonderfully here, and yeah, you this is one of the you are continuing the legacy Adrenergix from 1.0 to 2.0. You have conducted offline workshop, many other offline event. So once again, congratulations to you all, and I stop my words here. Anyone who has any query or something, they can raise hand or speak to me here. They are welcome. Yeah. Anyone to ask something? Okay, then I stop here. So you guys may proceed, and best wishes to all of you for this conference. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, in unveiling SNO India's mission, vision, and path to excellence. We extend our gratitude for gracing this occasion. And now I invite our National Public Relations Manager, SNO India, Mr. Auras Katiyar, sir, to share few words of wisdom.
A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Auraf Satyar, National Public Relations Manager at INO India, and uh, Dr. Lakhan Prakash Gupta Boss, Dr. Veronica, state team, state head, and national and international delegate, warm wishes from on the behalf of SNO India. And it was really honor to witness such an event. Uh, Inauguration ceremony of Adrenergix 2.0. Uh, uh, Best wishes, guys. You are your team is doing really good, and on behalf of SMO India, I want to thank Dr. Veronica ma'am for her time. Her time really meant a lot to us, And best wishes, guys. Congratulations, Tamil Nadu chapter. Congrats. Best wishes.
Thank you, sir. Here we have yet another important speech of the day. I now call upon Akshaya Nivasini ma'am, State Coordinator, State Council of SNO India, Tamil Nadu, to illuminate us about Adrenergix 2.0. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Kritik. Distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, scholars, and fellow delegates, good afternoon. As I introduce you to our event, Adrenergix 2.0, the Battle of Brains, I'm reminded of the fact that we are not mere participants of the conference, but custodians of a rich tradition. We carry the torch of inquiry lit by those who came before us, our patrons, and we are here to pass it on to the generations yet to come. Adrenergix 2.0 serves as a powerful reminder of the enduring commitment to knowledge, the pursuit of excellence, and the exchange of ideas. Adrenergix 2.0 is a 10-day long national level online academic conference starting from today, the September 30th of 2023 to October 9th, wherein participants from across the country from different college years of MBBS, BDS, and allied courses compete and ace their way to the top. We have a plethora of events organized this year for the second edition of Adrenergix. We will mark the beginning of our academic conference with a poster presentation event Aphysis by 6:30 p.m. today. The delegates were asked to make posters on the topic Disruptive Approach to Cancer Research and Survival. Then we move on to the second day of our conference. On October 1st, we have scheduled a medical gaming event, MediClash, where medicos outrage their academic knowledge and gaming skills in the battlefield. Coming to the webinars and workshops, we have two webinars sessions and two workshop sessions under the name Ninnarivu and Tamirti, respectively. On the third day of our conference on October 2nd, we will be having our first webinar session on artificial intelligence in the medical field and a workshop on research methodologies by 6 p.m. And on October 3rd, we have our second webinar session on financial planning and entrepreneurship for medicos by 6:30 p.m. On October 4th, we have scheduled our second workshop session on basics of teleconsultation by 6:30 p.m. The delegates were asked to present a case from subjects from surgery or obstetrics and gynecology for the case presentation event Medinergix by 6:30 p.m. on October 6th. This event is a new addition, and this would expand us interstate connections of dental students across the nation. On October 6th, we have a very special event, Odontia, the BDS quiz. This quiz is based on dental anatomy, oral histology, and embryology of face. On the fifth day of that event, October 6th, we have our most awaited event, Corazon, MBBS quiz by 6:30 p.m. This event has the maximum number of delegates with over 200 plus registrations. On October 7th, we have a debate competition point by 6:30 p.m. The delegates will be asked to debate for or against the topic gender disparity in obstetrics and gynecology. On October 8th, we have an event which prepares you for Global Grounds, the Model United Nations, CADMUN. It is a day-long event where we empower the leaders of tomorrow. On October 8th by 6 p.m., we have a research paper presentation event, Exploro. Delegates were asked to present their research papers abiding to the rules, and 6 finalists were selected. Last but not the least, we have our event, Hackathon, signing off our academic conference in style. Just how Veronica ma'am mentioned about the phenomenal innovation idea of wristband which measures plasma glucose, delegates would come together and create innovative solutions to real-world problems. As we embark on these days of rigorous discussion, debate, and collaboration, let us remember that academic conferences are not just about dissemination of knowledge, but forging of connections and cultivation of partnerships. I encourage each one of us to approach this conference with enthusiasm and thirst for learning. Let us cherish the diversity of thought that we bring to the table, for it is the diversity that seeds of innovation is sown. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We are already excited and looking forward for this medical extravaganza to come live in action. Let's mark the end of this formal inaugural ceremony of Adrenergix 2.0, the Battle of Brains, with a heartfelt vote of thanks. I now request our highly competent and passionate State Vice President, State Council of SNO India, Tamil Nadu, Mr. Adityan Sir, to deliver the vote of thanks. Am I audible, right, Pratik? Okay. அறிவினான் ஆகுவதுண்டோ பிறந்தின் நோய் தன்னோய் போல் போற்ற கடை. A token of gratitude will stand as the pillar for making any event a success. Firstly, I would like to thank Almighty God for making this event a great success. I would like to thank our honorable keynote speaker, Ma'am Veronica Duell, for accepting our invitation and inaugurating this event. Next, I would like to thank the respected President of SNO India, Dr. Lakan Prakash Gupta, for his moral support. I would also like to thank the National Core Team, Dr. Amrita Shinde Ma'am, Dr. Auras Katia Sir, and Dr. Ria Gupta Ma'am, who too lended their support. I feel pleasure in thanking our respected SNO advisory team of state Tamil Nadu. I'd like to thank all the participants in and around the country who came here to participate in the Med Extravaganza. The very next, I would like to thank the beloved State Council team of SNO India Tamil Nadu, who were the pillars of this organization, worked very, very hard and devoted in bringing every initiative of the state team a grand success. I also wish to thank other state heads of SNO who helped us very far away. Thank you all. வாழ்க தமிழ், வளர்க தமிழகம். Jai Hind. Over to you, Kritik. Thank you, sir. Kavya?
By marking the end of this inaugural ceremony, we have grandly inaugurated the Adrenergix 2.0, the Battle of the Brains, an online national medical extravaganza conducted by the SNO India Tamil Nadu. The Battle of the Brains begin. As for now, this is Kavya.
And this is Kritik.
Signing off. Thank you.
Thank you.